Hello students, welcome to this video. Students, in this video I'm going to explain you a very important lesson from your grammar, and that is tense. In this video I'll be talking about the different tense forms and the structure of the different tense forms. And after going through the entire video, you will be able to identify a sentence and you will be able to tell in which tense form is that sentence is. So students, first of all let me tell you what is tense. What do we understand by the word tense? Some people mistake it that tense is time. Let me tell you one thing, tense is not just time. It is about the form, okay? Listen very nicely. It's about a form which a verb takes to indicate the time when the action was done, okay? When the action was done, or when the action continued, or when the action got completed. Students, as you know, there are three main tenses, three tenses. We have the present tense, we have past tense, and we also have future tense. So students, present, when you talk about present, that is the time which is now, that is present. Past, the action already happened, that is the past. And future, the action will happen, it has not started yet, okay? Now students, let me tell you, each tense has got four different forms. How many forms? Four different forms. First of all, let us come to the present tense, okay? Present tense, every tense has, as I told you, four different forms, and first we shall discuss about the present tense. Let me tell you one thing, each tense has four different forms. We have the indefinite form, we have the continuous form, we have the perfect form, and we also have perfect continuous form. And this is for all the three tenses, okay? So 3 into 4, 12 forms of tenses we'll discuss here. So first of all, we will talk about the different forms of present tense. In the different forms of present tense, we'll discuss about, first we'll discuss about the indefinite form. Indefinite, present indefinite, it's also called simple present. We also call it simple present, or simple past, or simple future also. So what is the structure? Now the question is, how do we identify a sentence? Because identification of sentence is very important, especially when you solve questions based on active and passive voice. When you solve questions based on narration, the identification becomes very important. So let us try to understand the structure of indefinite, present indefinite tense, which is also called simple present. So when we write it in this form: subject plus verb 1 or verb 1 plus s or es plus object. I'll explain it. Subject plus verb 1 or verb 1 plus s or es plus object. Now what does that mean? Subject plus first form of the verb. You may be aware of the three forms of verbs: present form, past form, and past participle form. So I have taken it as verb 1, verb 2, and verb 3 I'll discuss. Verb 2 is the past form and verb 3 will be the past participle form. If you are not aware of the three forms of verbs, I would advise you to go through the list of the three forms of verbs. You do that immediately so that you don't struggle when you study tense, voice, narration, etc. So first form is subject plus verb 1 plus s or es plus object. Here there is little problem. You will find little problem here. When to use verb 1 and when to use verb 1 plus s or es. For example, I'll write a sentence here. I play cricket. Okay, I play cricket. Now in this sentence, what is the structure? Subject plus verb 1 plus object. I is the subject, play is the verb in the first form, and cricket is the object. So here we have just used verb 1. Now I'll give you an example where we use verb 1 plus is or es. Now if the sentence is he plays, he, then we have to write here plays cricket. He plays cricket. S is added with verb 1. If it is like he goes so to school, here what happened? Es is added to the first form of the verb. So with some verbs you need to add es, and in some verbs you just need to add s. With the first person it will be, let me make it very clear to you, with the first person I and we, it will be just the verb 1. Second person it will be verb 1. Third person plural they, verb 1. But third person singular, that is he, she, it, you will use verb 1 plus s or es. With he, she and it, you will use verb 1 plus s or es will be used. He goes, she goes, Mohan goes, Ram goes, John goes. It will be like that. I hope you won't be confused with this. Okay. So this is the structure. Okay. Just see the sentence. If it is in the form of subject plus verb 1 or verb 1 plus s or es plus object, then you can understand that the sentence is written in present indefinite form or simple present form. Next, we will discuss about the present continuous form. Continuous. Before moving to continuous, let me tell you one thing. Indefinite means the action happened in the present, but when exactly the action happened, that is not mentioned. That is indefinite, in indefinite time. And continuous means the action goes on, okay, at the present. It goes on at the time of speaking. That is continuous. So the structure of present continuous. The structure of present continuous we'll discuss here. Subject plus, you have to use am, is, are, plus verb 1 plus ing plus object. Let me explain it. Subject plus am, is, are plus verb 1 plus ing plus object. Now you have to use am, is, are with the subject. Now you should know where to use am, is, are, and then you have to use the ing form of the verb. Okay, verb 1 plus ing form plus object. So you should know where you should use am, is and are. With the first person singular, that is I, we always use am. Then you have to see whether the subject is singular or plural. If the subject is singular, use is, and if the subject is plural, use are. Suppose the subject is children, so children word is plural, we have to use are. If the subject is child, we have to use is. People are, man is. You have to see the subject and then you have to use am, is, are accordingly. Now let me give you some example. Say, I am teaching grammar. Okay, that is something which I am doing right now. You are watching a video. That means something which you are doing right now. Ram is playing cricket. Tells us something which Ram does at the moment. So this is how we can write a sentence in continuous form, and we use continuous form to talk about an action that continues. I'll be discussing about the uses in a separate video, students. In this video, I'll just focus on the structure that will help you to understand the sentence, the form of a particular form, tense form of a sentence. So this is about the present continuous form. Now let me move to the next one, that is perfect form. Perfect form. present perfect. What is the structure? Now students, be careful. In perfect form, I was talking about the three forms of verbs. In the perfect form, we require the third form. That is why the knowledge of the three forms of verbs is very important. You will find that list in your grammar book. If it is not there, not available, you can refer any grammar books which has got the list. So we were talking about the perfect form. Now in the perfect form, the structure is subject plus has or had plus verb 3, I was talking about it, plus object. So you have to either use has or have with the subject plus third form of the verb plus object. Okay. Now you may be very confused, and most of the students are confused where to use has, where to use, I'm very sorry, it is not had, it is have. Has or have, where to use has and where to use have, and the third form comes. Third form plus object. So students, let me tell you here, with all the rest of the persons, you will use have. Only with the third person singulars like he, she, it. Third person singulars, you will use has. Suppose Mohan, third person singular, you have to use has. Ram has. John has. Sheila has. But if the subject is in plural, Ram and Mohan, then you will use have. And with the rest, I have, you have, we have, they have. So only with third person singulars, you remember it, only with the third person singulars, you need to use what? You need to use have. Has. So this is the structure, subject plus has or have plus verb 3 plus object. Now I'll give you examples. I have played cricket. What does it mean? That also I'll tell you. That means recently I've completed it. I started sometime back and recently I've completed it. Completed what? Completed playing cricket. He has done his job. Okay, he has done. Played, third form. Do, did, done, third form. Go, went, gone, third form. Come, came, come, third form. So you have to remember the third forms when you talk about the perfect form. Now I'll move to the next one, which is, I hope it is clear to you. I'll move to the next form, that is perfect continuous. Perfect continuous. Slight difference between perfect and perfect continuous. Perfect means recently the work is perfected, completed, and perfect continuous means the action started at a certain time, the time is indicated, time period is indicated, and till now the action is going on. It's not completed, it's going on. Maybe half it is completed, 50% completed, and still work is continuing. So the structure is subject plus has or have plus been plus verb 1 plus ing plus object. Okay, subject plus has or have plus been plus verb 1 plus ing plus object. Has been or have been. Okay, and we also use since or for to indicate the time. He has been living here for 5 years. Okay, the time is also indicated here. He has been living here for 5 years. 5 years before he started living here, and now also he lives here. He has not left this place. Continues. Okay, I've used for 5 years. A very simple way to understand the use of for and since. Now since, when you use since, it will be used in the way like it's since morning, since last week, since last year, since last month, and if the name of the month is given, for example, since January, since December, since the last week of May. If the year is mentioned, such for example since 2010, since 1955, if the year is mentioned, you can still write since, I'm sorry. But if it's like countable form, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 100, 1 day, 2 day, 1 hour, an hour, 10 days, 2 weeks, 1 month, 10 years, when it is in countable form like that. you write there, use there for. No, counted in number of days, hours, months, years, use for. And if it is other than that, use, what will you use? You will use since. So you should not forget the usage of that. I will give you one more example. She has been playing since morning. Since morning. Okay, she has been playing since morning. Morning she started, now also she is playing. Morning is mentioned here, that is why we have used since. If it would be like 2 hours, 3 hours, then we could have used for. So this is about the present perfect continuous tense. So we have discussed all the 4 forms of present tense: present indefinite or simple present, present continuous, present perfect, and present perfect what? Continuous. Now I'll talk about the past tense. Past tense also, the forms are same: indefinite, continuous, perfect, and perfect continuous forms in the past tense. So past tense. First I'll talk about indefinite. Action happened in the past. When exactly, that is not mentioned. Indefinite time in the past, that is past indefinite, or we also call it simple past tense. Okay, simple past tense. So the structure is subject plus second form of the verb. Okay, verb 2, past form plus object. Verb 2, the past form. For example, he ate chocolate. He ate chocolate. Ate, eat, ate, eaten. So second form, ate. I did my homework. Okay, I, subject, did is the second form, do, did, done. So I did my homework. He visited me. Okay, so all these are examples of past indefinite. The sentence is in the structure subject plus verb 2 plus object. I hope it will be clear to you. There is no confusion, just subject plus verb 2 plus object. If you find the sentence in this structure, you can understand that it is in the past indefinite form. Then I'll move to the continuous. The continuous part, past continuous. Okay, means the action was happening in the past. The action was continuing in the past. So structure is subject plus was, were, plus verb 1 plus ing plus object. Subject plus was or were plus ing form of the verb plus object. Now if the subject is singular, see the subject. If the subject is singular, use was, and if the subject is plural, use were. For example, I was doing a work. I was visiting someone. They were visiting someone. Okay, they were going for a picnic. I was doing some work. So see the subject. If the subject is singular, use was. If the subject is plural, use were. Don't make mistake when you write a sentence. I was writing an answer. They were playing cricket. Okay, so remember the structure: subject plus was or were plus ing form of the verb plus object. If the sentence is in that structure, you can understand that the sentence is written in past continuous tense. Then let us move to the next form, that is past perfect. Perfect form, like present perfect, problem is less here. Structure is subject plus had. We don't have the problem of has or have here. Subject plus had plus verb 3 plus object, but you have to use the third form of the verb. Remember to use had with the subject. I had done my duty. Means in the past, action started at a time in the past and it got completed in the past. I had done my duty. He had played cricket. Okay, they had gone for a picnic. So like that you can easily identify a sentence in past perfect form. Now the next is perfect continuous, similar to present perfect continuous. Talking about past perfect continuous tense. Okay, past perfect continuous tense. The structure is subject plus had been plus verb 1 plus ing plus object including since or for. That means the work started in the past at a particular point of time or period of time, and that work was just going on in the past. It didn't complete. Okay, let me give you an example. I had been playing cricket for a long time. For a long for an year. That was in the past. Okay, for almost 1 year. For 1 year I had been playing cricket. It was continuing like that. They had been working very hard for a long time. So they were working very hard. They had been living here since, you can mention a year, 2005, 2010, like that. So all these are examples of past perfect continuous tense. I wanted to discuss about the future tense also, but it will become a very long video. So in this video, I'll discuss only about present and past. In my next video, I'll discuss about future, and I will also discuss about the uses of the different tense forms. You watch the complete video so that it will help you to identify the tense. Today's video will help you to identify the tense forms of present and past tense. Thank you so much for watching this video.